What's up, Malphus? It's your boy Malphus. I'm looking cute, looking clean, looking sexy. And it's another top 5, baby. We here for the top 5. And today's episode is a special Marvel's episode. A special. Everybody know Moon Knight finale is coming out this week. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is coming out this week. So we decided to do a top 5 top Marvel movies. So we're going to start off.
But make sure you clear up the point that we're talking about Marvel properties across the board. We're not just talking about the MCU.
We're not talking Sony. We're talking about the ones they own, which is technically the other ones too. So we're going to go into that.
Yeah, everything that's not X-Men, or Spider-Man from post No Way Home.
You can do X-Men too because they own that too. It's on Disney Plus technically.
Well, but the thing, when the X-Men movies were made, they didn't own them.
Well, I just said Marvel movies, MC. They own they in the Disney. They in the Disney Plus.
I'd put X-Men on the list, but I was thinking that was a Sony movie when it came out. So I ain't even.
Don't worry,
I don't care. Go on a top 5 of the worst superhero movies of all time.
I mean, don't worry. Some Fox movies that go on there too, but don't worry. I cheated. I sure got an X-Men movie on here. I ain't afraid to say it.
I put Blade on my list because we're gonna stop down talking my boy Wesley Snipes.
No, that's just as much as X-Men is. So that don't even matter.
But
hey, it was the first Marvel movie. What you talking about? First. It started this superhero revolution.
Yeah, but basically, it's any Marvel movie that Marvel owns. Technically, what we're gonna do. So, and since if it's on Disney Plus or it's gonna be on Disney Plus in the next 3 months, we count it. Just like when we do top 3 tomorrow, we include the Netflix shows because they were technically not MCU. They were Marvel Entertainment, but they all on the Kevin Feige now on the Disney Plus.
That's why we threw that E in the MCEU. Yeah. We got to add in that extended universe.
So if somebody wanted to pick Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. tomorrow, they could have. So I just wanted to make sure that's clear.
Yeah, but it was only good for the first 2 or 3 seasons.
Yeah, then they got a little convoluted when they start introducing aliens and all that.
And it ruined the lead into the Inhumans, which is a property that should be made right because Black Bolt is top tier.
And by the way, before we get started, we're gonna start off with Tori, of course. But we're gonna have a show where we talk about Doctor Strange. It probably be Friday night or Saturday, but I think me and Monte send it automatically Thursday, right? Me and you send it.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so we'll be ready for. I think it's gonna be Friday night. We're gonna be live right here tomorrow night because this coming out. Well, tonight because this coming out on Friday. So we'll be here live tonight. So be here for that. I'm gonna set this off a little earlier, but be here live tonight. We're gonna do a review of Doctor Strange. If you saw it last night or you saw it today, come with us. We're gonna give it a little time so y'all can get the 8 o'clock show. So we're gonna get together on a time. I'm gonna announce it in the group so everybody. I'm gonna announce it on the post. So hit that notification bell, hit all that stuff, hit that like and subscribe, all that, so you know when we do the live review. Tori, tell us about your top 5.
Alrighty, I gotta find the list real quick. I knew, where did I put it?
Yeah, but y'all can see his list right now. Y'all can see it. I put it up on the screen for everyone that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, starting at number 5.
Yes.
We got No Way Home because it was a banger. I mean, I was completely and thoroughly ready to hate No Way Home, and they knocked it out. They knocked it out of the park. They tied up all the little inconsistencies that I was ready to complain about. It was good. It was good, and I mean, if it is the precursor to many more Spider-Man movies to come, I'm behind that wholeheartedly. Even though you gentlemen can attest, I started off as soon as we heard about No Way Home, I was like, this movie's gonna be garbage. I still don't care for Peter Parker as a character. I never will. That is what it is. But I think with just the culture shock that came with No Way Home, I had to put it on the list, even if I don't care for the character. Real recognize real, and No Way Home looks mad familiar. So then at number 4, we got the king himself, the man who started all of this Marvel movie madness, Wesley Snipes and Blade. I mean, bruh. Blade is one of the first movies I remember seeing as a child and actually going to the movie theater and seeing. And Blade 2, it was decent. Blade Trinity.
WWE? You talking about WWE version of Blade?
Yeah, man, Triple H in there.
Stone Cold.
He was all extra buff. He had the silver fangs.
Kevin Nash in that too? Kevin Nash. What do you know? Stone Cold.
See, I don't remember. I only remember Triple H.
Stone Cold was the bodyguard. He fought him. He Blade him fought. I remember that.
Oh, really? See, you learn something new every day. I did not know that. I ain't even gonna front. But yeah, Blade. I mean, if you look back, it stuck close to the comic book roots. I mean, Deacon Frost was like one of the most accurate portrayals of a Marvel villain. And of course, we're looking back on this hindsight because I was always maybe like 8 years old when Blade came out, but I've watched it hundreds of times since then. And I just feel like we don't put enough respect on my boy Wesley Snipes' name. And I mean, that's got to change. You gotta get him out there. He deserves all the credit. And then coming in at number 3, we're gonna keep the black agenda moving, if you would, with Black Panther. I mean, Wakanda forever. Y'all know what it is. R.I.P. to the man himself. But I mean, Black Panther again. It was such a well-made movie, and it encompassed. And there were some parts in Black Panther that I did not care for remotely. I ain't even gonna act like I did because I'd be lying to y'all. But just the feel of Black Panther, the way that it worked, the story at large, just how they hit all of these little Easter eggs in there that weren't just nonsense Easter eggs. They actually went someplace. And then
Stone Cold, I don't know if he was in that. I take it back. He might be another one.
Okay, I was gonna say I feel like I remembered if Stone Cold was in there. But
he fought. He did something with
Triple H. I know he was. And then, well, like I said, with Black Panther, they hit the nail on the head with that for the most part. They gave rise. I know the hype was super big behind it, but I feel like it did the title justice. It came through, and I'm waiting to see what they do with Black Panther 2. Are we going to get a recast of T'Challa? Are we going to let Shuri take over as the Black Panther? Which I'm going to say it now, that is not the way that it should go, in my opinion. We're tapping into the multiverse here. You can give us another male Black Panther. Shuri has a lot more character development to go before we go throwing her into the Black Panther suit. But then at number 2, we got Doctor Strange. Even though we whitewashed his master and he went from being an old Chinese man to being a slender white lady. the same one that played she played Gabriel in Constantine. I can never remember her name, but I always remember that she played Gabriel in Constantine. But Doctor Strange, it was just, I don't know. And it might just be the inner fantasy nerd in me. Anytime magic's involved, I'm gonna love it. It is what it is. And the story, I saw so many people talk bad about Doctor Strange, but if you go back and watch that movie now, it still holds up. Like, the plot isn't too jumbled, which can happen in Marvel movies, in my opinions. The plot can get sidetracked at points, and sometimes we fail to course correct, much like on this podcast when we talk about anything remotely sexual. It could go left at any point in time. But I feel like Doctor Strange, they did so much, aside from me wanting more Dormammu, like, that's what I need. But if you've watched any of our prior podcasts, you know I'm all about bringing in these world busters that we are fairly sure won't translate well on screen. I'm still trying to see them there. So, And then at number one, I mean, this is gonna sound super cliche, super. I don't care. Endgame, bro. Endgame was the culmination of this ridiculously long story that we've been going through. I feel like Monte's ready to be like, Endgame? You want to put Endgame? Okay, I was making sure. Endgame, bro, just and I'm not gonna lie, I debated between Infinity War and Endgame. I really did, because Infinity War, I feel like, was like one of the best lead up movies ever. Just knowing that a sequel was coming, knowing that this was all gonna culminate in the next movie, even as long as we had to wait for Endgame to come, I feel like Infinity War did such a good job that we weren't even mad about it when it came out. It was an amazing movie. I know people who literally went the day Endgame came out, they watched it almost every showing that it came out in the theater in my town. Like literally they had a ticket for every showing, back to back to back to back. Like that's some dedication to show up at the movie theater at 9 a.m. when they open and be there till dang near midnight when they close. Maybe a little 10-15 minute break between each showing. I don't know of any other superhero movie that, and I'm sure there are people out there in the internet world that are going to be like, no, you're completely wrong. This movie did that too. But I'm talking about me on a personal level. I don't think I've ever seen people as even with the wildness of the love for No Way Home. I feel like when Endgame came out, it didn't matter if you were a Marvel fan, if you weren't a Marvel fan. You needed to see this movie. You needed to know how we were wrapping up phase 3 if we're going to keep it a buck. Like you needed to know. And I mean, I feel like that's why it's the best in my opinion, because it made people feel something for real. How many people did y'all see break down in tears when Tony Stark died? And they were literally watching it for like the second or third time. Like you done seen him die a couple times, and it's still.
It was poetic. It was poetic too, because he's the first one that started, and at the end of this Infinity Saga, he gone.
How many people right now are out there telling their kids, "I love you 3,000," bruh? I tell my nieces and nephew that still to this day because of that movie, because we watched that movie together. I love you 3,000. It's a movie makes a real stamp when little pieces of the movie become commonplace language. You know what I mean? So yeah,
the most
Endgame number one. Yeah.
I'm gonna go second and let Monte. He's gonna say best for last. Let's call him best for last. It's good.
Yeah, Monte gonna have the complete breakdown for us. He's gonna tell us why all our picks are wrong, why his are right, and yet he's still gonna respect our points at the same time.
My number 5 is No Way Home. I'm going No Way Home.
Oh, see, we was on the same page there.
Yeah, I'm going No Way Home because I am a big. If you notice, I am a big cultural mover. I am a person who loves big. Even though I found out this list was way harder than I thought it was gonna be when I said it.
Bro.
Because when
it was rough.
I had the whole list in front of me, and I'm like, okay, these are the one I'm gonna pick. And I'm like, but I like that one. But I like that one.
That is the problem I had. I almost wish I hadn't brought up a list of all the movies because it messed me up. I was like, oh.
And then when we bring in the old ones too, I was like, yo, I'm gonna make this easy on me and not even pick them. So ain't no offense to them.
Yeah, I felt bad not putting Iron Man on my list because it really Blade.
Yeah, so I had to just go with big, and No Way Home is huge. It fixed so much problems I had with the Sony Spider-Man, which by the way we couldn't use because they are still owned by Sony. We talking about Marvel owned properties, but it fixed all my problems with that. It was so huge. It shifted. It's literally the movie start of the multiverse. We know Loki started, but this was the movie start.
Yeah.
And it's leading into this next movie, which is supposed to be the official start of phase 4. Like, really? So everybody's saying it's like, this is like all of a sudden leading up to this and when it starts. So I'm excited for that. And that started this. It
did kick it off.
So it's starting something new. And it's endings, and it's ending like the Sony part. Maybe because they making Madam Web and Andrew Garfield like, I am not doing these movies with Sony no more. But whatever reason,
I don't know. What if Madam Web leads us into the Beyonders?
So Beyonders would be with Marvel. So that's all I'm saying.
Oh, you're right. Dang.
So
you can't even do nothing good with Madam Web then.
That's what I'm saying.
Her whole mainstay story was the lead into the Beyonders.
What they basically saying is she gonna be the Sony's version of Doctor Strange, and I'm like, I do not like Sony changing characters at all.
Oh hell.
So next up,
that's crazy. You want to talk about an irrelevant character?
Next up, you want me to talk about shifts? Black Panther. Black Panther shifted everything. I have never seen so many all of a sudden new black superhero Marvel fans in my life. Monte, they started showing out of anywhere. I didn't even know you like comic books like I didn't. They kids dressed up, bro. I saw dashikis everywhere when I went to the movie.
Everybody wanted to be like Hotep.
I'm like, when did we get this? It's literally shifted the culture. And all of a sudden now you got a bunch of superheroes of women and color and everything else when it was mostly, let's be honest.
Got a bunch of white people screaming Wakanda forever.
And let's be honest, it was ran by Marvel was ran by white men even before the NMCU. It was straight white men, Captain America, Thor, Hulk, Iron Man. Just keep on doing it.
And then T'Challa came through and even the playing field.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden,
so to speak.
And now you start getting like, okay, it actually worked. We can actually start putting different type of characters in different places and letting them lead the series. And it was a total culture shift, so I had to put in a further culture. And it was really well done.
Do you think we should get a T'Challa recast? Or do you want to see Shuri be the next Black Panther?
I don't think they're going to do... I think if I know how smart he is, he's not even going to worry about who's going to be the next Black Panther. It's going to be world building, and they're going to probably do a war. And they're going to have ramifications. And then they go on a TV series after that. So they got a TV series coming right after that.
Can we get a Namor TV series? That would be kind of lit.
That would be lit, but...
Because you know the Submariner be getting freaky with all them undersea queens that look mad wild. He don't care at all. He's out here busting down octopuses and Leviathan queens and all kinds of stuff.
I'm pretty sure they probably made that, but it's not going to be on Disney+. That is not the
movie.
Number 3.
Rule 34, yo.
Number 3. My list is so cliche. Number 3, Endgame.
Okay.
It's so cliche. I couldn't do it. It was so hard just to put in there.
Hey,
I had to go off Impact.
Mine was too.
I had to go off Impact, man. I couldn't help it. I was like, I want to put Thor Ragnarok in here, which I don't, by the way. Y'all, they can see it in. I want to put it in there. Thor Ragnarok was amazing, Tor. Don't pretend like
no.
It's amazing, Tor. I want to put I wanted to put the original Iron Man. I wanted to put.
That's one that I wanted to put on my list, but didn't because we really wouldn't have had this. Iron Man started this. I know I gave the credit to Blade just a little bit ago, but in the mainstream, it was Iron Man that set off this whole Marvel revolution.
But like I said when Tora was talking, Endgame was perfect ending to this saga that we sat here and waited for a decade.
Yeah.
It was a good
ending.
It was a major send off. It gave us our fears. It let us grow with the character, and then like it's time to say goodbye.
Yep.
And it pulled at your heartstrings. You loved it. It did everything you wanted it to do. It's the first major really felt like superhero film. Number 2, Civil War.
Oh, that's surprising.
Civil War is probably one of the best made movies I have seen. Pure story driven. It made sense. It gave you the first. It's like the comic book story came to life that everybody loved. It didn't quite end as sad. Thankfully for that, because we got Endgame with it, because it could have ended badly.
Yeah.
And
it was a decent ending.
Yeah, and to me, it's the one that basically started off the $1 billion run that they was on, that they been on. It's like, hey, this is It started a $1 billion run. Everybody want to see. It's the introduction of Black Panther. It's the introduction of Spider-Man. All these characters it's 2 people on the list was introduced in this movie. I can't deny it because the two big people that's on my list was introduced in this movie. It also gave us the character work for Tony Stark in this movie.
RDJ knocking it out the park.
It made Endgame important. I felt Endgame because of this building. Like, oh, this cocky dude, this abrasive dude. You learn about his life, his history. You learn
this warmongering alcoholic.
You know what I'm saying? Now you learn about why his parents was the whole story. His parents getting ended by Bucky, and then his anger. And you can feel his rage. And bro, the debates online, Monte debates. Who was right?
And that's why it's still Captain America killer till I die, because you should have been on Tony's side.
Grace Randolph still
miss me with that.
Grace Randolph still hates Captain America because of this movie.
Bro, Captain America should have been on Tony's side. Don't nobody like the Winter Soldier that much.
Well, that's his best.
Nobody care about Bucky Barnes.
Tor, that's like his best friend from 50 years ago. I'm pretty sure he would care. And it's kind of not his fault, so you get it, because he was mind control. But at the same time,
miss me with that. I don't care.
But
you killed my parents, bro.
But it made that amazing debate.
Man said all that. He don't care.
But it made this I have never seen a universe so divided on one issue, and it was like almost like 47-53. I think it's 53 Robert Downey Jr. side Iron Man, but it was 47-53, and it was like people arguing on Twitter forever about whose side they on.
There are still people arguing on Twitter about it.
You know what I'm saying?
We're 10 years removed almost.
And that's amazing that you can write a story that long and it still lasts about argument on who was right. I could be 10 years from now, I can argue with y'all about who was right one day. We can do a podcast on this, and we can do it 10 years later and it still work.
Civil War still should have been waited on until they got the X-Men property back, because the real Civil War, but we all know how it started. It was the mutants on the bus. Speedball had the accident. It killed all them people and that. But they did a good job with what they had.
But I don't know if they knew they were gonna buy it yet. That's the problem. It did come out 10 years ago. And
that's very true.
They just got X-Men 2 years ago, so that's like 8 years in between. So yeah.
But look at how horrible the New Mutants movie was, because we didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And number one, I have to go with it, Infinity War. Had to do it. Why?
Oh, see?
Why? Because everything I said about Civil War was in Infinity War. Like, that movie literally was the...
Infinity War did it better. It was the better of the wars.
The fight with Doctor Strange, what Tori said about he loved about Doctor Strange, that fight between Doctor Strange and Thanos was mind-boggling. I hope
it was dope.
I hope I saw that last night, because I know we filming this earlier. I hope I saw that last night. I hope I saw some reminiscence. It had to be something like that on that level. But I saw a man throw a moon at Iron Man. This is the first movie I've ever seen.
That is true.
Like, I've actually seen a superhero movie that I saw a moon get thrown at a superhero. I'm like, I never thought I was going to see that didn't look cheesy. The anger I saw, people to this day, Chris Pratt has been lied on to this day because of that movie. They wanted to cancel.
Yeah, bro, you couldn't keep it together.
Bro, they want to cancel this.
You couldn't keep it together.
Bro, they trying to cancel this man in real life because of that movie. Y'all can't tell me different.
Hey, that's what you getting for being a Sigma simp. That ain't cool.
But
was Gamora worth half the universe getting snapped out of existence? No.
Yep.
Zoe Saldana mid.
Yep, she was. Both him and her got snapped. So, oh well. He was screwed either way.
Yo, Tor. They really trying to cancel this man over this movie, and y'all can't convince me.
He sort of deserves it. Look at what he did.
Like, they just make up stories.
Nobody likes Star-Lord that much.
Tell me Star-Lord wasn't popular before this movie. And then after that movie, Chris Pratt, they like, Jack Black need to play Star-Lord. I'm like, what? What?
Hey, I'm behind that. Let's make it happen.
Yo, it is insane. The cool powers. We got introduced. Like I said, no movie's perfect, but I had a few problems with it. But my goodness, this movie was close.
It was very, very good.
This movie was amazing. Infinity War is what if I wanted to draw a movie, that would be. If I want to write, that would be it. 100%. Like, yeah, I know it ain't nothing perfect, but oh my goodness, that's all I got to say on that. I know Monte got. I know his list too, so I just don't want to just go.
I was gonna say, that's what we've been waiting for.
I know it is.
Grandpa knows my list,
that's what I'm saying.
So I go ahead and say probably the most shocking thing of it is that I have no Avengers movie on this list. Like,
there's a way I can see that working though. I ain't gonna lie. Because
when he said the best movies, I tend to think of the best movies that entertain, like they're entertaining throughout the entire movie. The problem with the Avengers movies is that they're only entertaining on their action scenes. Every other part of the movies is just like, I'm just waiting for the action. I'm just like the general plight. For Infinity War, perfect example, the two scenes of that movie that everybody remembers is when they fought on Titan against Thanos and like the Guardians and everybody was fighting at Thanos and the end. Everything else that happened, most people don't think of. Everybody don't
with a moon,
he got hit with a moon. We'll all go where Thanos was sacrificing Gamora for the Soul Stone. Don't nobody tries tears over that crap. Nah, I don't remember that part. Or everybody either rages when Hulk got folded 5 minutes into the movie. Or everybody rages on that part. We won't talk about Hulk. We just talk about the action.
He whooped the Hulk.
Because like I said, the action parts were good, but that's 3 hours of movie. So, I'm just like, I want to be entertained throughout the movie. So I'm thinking of the best movies. These are the movies that, for your time, they gave you everything you could ask for. And so for me, none of the Avengers movie had it because they're all about their action, especially Endgame. Endgame, literally the 2 hours and 15 minutes earlier in the movie, before all the Avengers come up and start fighting Thanos at the end. Don't nobody give a squat about it. It's literally the last 45 minutes. So
I don't know about that. Bro, Tony with his kid, man, the whole problem with Captain America, even though I'm anti-Cap,
you know what that movie was? Everybody being depressed about 5 years later sat through it.
The action scene,
everybody was depressed, and it's okay. We got the beginning of the movie of Endgame, Cap sitting in the middle of a circle of people, like, hey,
shout out to Thor for playing Xbox.
I don't give a squat about this.
Yeah. So, no, I'm a PlayStation guy. Ain't nobody shouting out Thor for playing Xbox.
I know they're focused more on the action of all the heroes coming together, not the entirety of the movie being entertaining. So these are my 5, like that I had one of just the best overall. Now, number 5 is Black Panther, because Black Panther, like, we share at least some of them. Black Panther is
exactly. And I think it was a given that everyone was going to have that on their list.
Now people did over glorify. Like I said, I've seen the dashikis, the whole doctor looking suit.
I didn't have none of that. That was wild.
Like, you not black.
I definitely bought a dashiki after.
I'm seeing grandmas and all them go. I'm like, okay, look, now y'all, this is a Marvel comic movie, but y'all are getting a little bit glossed over because it is like one of the few movies that had an all black cast and it was done wonderfully well. The Killmonger is still a beloved character of the franchise. He was an enemy. Everybody understood where he came from. His quote at the end when it comes to, hey, lay me with my ancestors. Everybody, like, the movie was wonderful. So I'm not going to knock the movie. It's wonderful. It's just people over glorify it. But it is a wonderful movie. So,
it was good enough to get on your list.
For the culture and
it's on everybody's list too. So it's a
number 4 is Thor Ragnarok. Because Thor Ragnarok is probably the funniest.
I love Thor Ragnarok and all that.
Entire series.
I love that movie, dog.
Oh my lord!
It is probably the funniest movie of the entire series.
Dark World just tainted my whole love of the Thor movies. After that, I couldn't get into it.
Thor 1 is like meh, and Thor 2 is horrible. Thor Ragnarok redeemed.
Yeah, Dark World was garbage.
Literally redeemed.
Y'all know what?
It did bring it back.
Y'all know what I noticed when I was making the list? I could easily make a top.
But it was basically Planet Hulk, almost.
That's the thing about the introduce. They also added like World War Hulk aspects into that movie, and it actually worked. Like, the movie is funny.
Yeah, but it eliminated a good Hulk storyline that we could have got a movie out of.
That was going to take forever to get. So I don't blame them for doing that, because
they always take forever. It's Marvel.
No. Like, when it comes to comic books and movies, it takes years to make a movie. So the fact that they'll have to go so long just to introduce Sentry, I'm good with it. Like, I don't.
But the source material is all already there, though. That's the thing with comic book movies. The source material is already there.
The way they've already had to spin off, I have no problem.
Tor, you know what I noticed? I noticed that it's easier to make a top 5 least liked than it would be the best favorite.
Oh yeah,
I mean, either one is fine. Yeah. I mean, because some of the least liked that I
either one's gonna make people angry.
Because if I do at least like, people gonna get upset at me when I put Dr. Strange on that move, but I ain't even gonna worry about that. just like
Oh,
like I was saying, like, it ain't gonna be ugly regardless.
But
like,
Thor will be
the
on yours, so I just thought it'd be
like they changed the direction that okay, we can just make Thor a bit more lighthearted. It ain't gotta be the whole serious thing. Introduce Valkyrie.
But that's sort of Thor's thing. Is he super serious?
Hela is a wonderful villain. Like they made everything work in the movie. It is funny, it's entertaining.
Very true.
Hela is a really good villain. Shifting Loki from like an evil to somebody that's actually worth helping. Like,
even though Loki's supposed to be her dad, not her brother.
That would have made it. That would have made that convoluted to her. I ain't gonna.
But I need some. Look, you're supposed to be the continuity guys, El May.
But
I mean, you talking about the MCU. The MCU continuity went out the window the second they didn't have the X-Men. We can stop this.
But it tastefully went out the window.
And plus, the way they're doing it now.
That's where Ragnarok comes from. Ragnarok is a tasteful mix of two movie
ideas. Miss me with that.
Yo, Loki could be her mother, her father in another universe. They didn't make that available.
Loki was better than any of the Thor movies.
Well, I mean, yeah, I love Loki. But I mean, I agree.
Bro,
I love Loki. That's not saying that
Loki was better than any of those movies.
That's not saying that the third Thor movie is bad. The first two, man, but third one's fine.
Yeah, the first two.
Like Thor Ragnarok was such an enlightening movie after everything that had happened, like in the prior movie. It was such an enlightening movie.
I love Thor.
Because it came out after Civil War, I believe. It was very lighthearted.
Yeah, it did. It came out after Civil War.
It was wonderfully done. So I'm good with it. My number 3 is going to be the one I cheated on because naturally MCU owns everything. Go Disney. And it is X-Men Days of Future Past, which is
what
favorite X-Men movie out of all.
Days of Future Past.
I like Days of Future Past. That wouldn't be my
that garbage Apocalypse.
No. That's X-Men Apocalypse.
Yeah,
Days of Future Past is the movie before that.
That's the one.
Okay.
First Class.
I do complain about this the most because the invincible black dude got killed by power, which the only thing about that movie that made me upset. That's the only thing about it.
Days of Future Past is the one where they start off the movie where the Sentinels are already wiping out the mutants, and literally Wolverine has to go back.
I remember the Days of Future Past story, even though because we didn't get what's his face, the one that started Days of Future Past, Gene and Scott's son. Why cannot Cable?
No, we didn't get Cable in there, which I'm cool
with. And Cable, there wouldn't have been no Days of Future Past without Cable, though. Because he took everybody to the future.
I don't like. I prefer not having Cable and stuff in there. Like I'm cool with the way they chose to do it because Days of Future Past was also a way for them to redo the X-Men franchise after ruining it with X-Men 3. This is their way of redoing everything and making a successful movie.
But then they ruined it again with Dark Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix,
that's after the fact. I'm talking about before the fact. Before the fact, the fact of that they redid it successfully. Using time travel, which is something that when you ever introduce this crap in movies, most of the time goes bad. And the fact that Fox is able to pull it off, redo a franchise, and still have a good movie is crazy. This is the one where freaking Professor Xavier
left them the blueprint.
This is the one where Professor Xavier was sitting there getting drunk with the serum and didn't want to freaking take his powers and stuff again. This is that X-Men.
I want to walk.
This is the one where like, hey, I want to walk. I want to be me. Forget all this. This is that one. The one where they got to convince Mystique out of all people, Mystique to be the one to not kill this man right here and send us in a route to the Sentinel. You got to convince her not to do it. The one where Magneto was good and went bad again in the movie either freaking way. This is what they pulled all that together. And the movie was good. Like, it was not a bomb. Even though the movie before, it wasn't. After it was bad. They pulled.
I still think First Class was probably my favorite out of them, though. I
enjoyed First Class too, but First Class was a lot of setup. Like the whole friendship with Professor Xavier and Raven. I'm like, I with it, but
yeah. But let's just hope now that they own freaking the X-Men again. Give me 10 of Swords. That's what I want. We
shall see. But then the top 2 we have shared. These 2. If I just have them in a couple of different orders. Number 2 is No Way Home. Because I think it's downplayed what they actually did in that movie. Not only did you combine 3 different Spider-Man from 3 different periods of time in a comic book story that makes sense, you fixed the problems in both movies, both movie franchises. You fixed the problems of them. You fixed the issues of Spider-Man 1 by literally undoing Professor Octopus. I mean, not Professor, Dr. Octopus.
Dr. Octopus.
Fix the Green Goblin. Like, you fixed multiple things.
The Shocker too.
Redeem the Amazing Spider-Man with Jamie Foxx, who was one of my favorite parts of the movie. Like, his quips was hilarious. Made a nod to Miles Morales. Who gave us some hope for a Miles movie in the MCU eventually. Like, they did so much to fix the movie and combine all that with all the fan service of the other Spider-Man. And Tom Holland's Spider-Man was still able to shine. Like, his acting in the movie was great. Like, everything about that movie was very well done. Not only that, you fixing past movies, made his relationship meaningful with Zendaya instead of just being, you know, another MJ clone. Made it have its own meaning. Made him a Spider-Man with his own sacrifice to where he actually fits in with the other Spider-Man that gave him credit. Man.
And switched out Uncle Ben for Aunt May. Sheesh.
Like, the movie was like, it was good the entire way through. Like, just it was good. It got to the point where, like, when you were watching the first part of the movie, you forgot that the other two Spider-Men were supposed to be a part of it until freaking Andrew Garfield popped up in the portal. You're like, oh, shoot, I forgot they were supposed to be here. The movie was that good that you were sucked in.
It really was.
That was a good movie. It was really a good movie. The only thing that beats it is my number one, which I remember when I was saying in past things, I was like, okay, you know, Spider-Man might be this probably the best one in all MCU. I'm coming back off that, you know, that was the high I've seen the movie because my number one has always been Civil War. It has always been Civil War. It was probably always.
Why do you guys like Civil War?
No, Civil War's always got to be. The reason being, Grandpa alluded to a bunch of them. This is one. They introduced probably the two most popular MCU characters in the entire franchise in the same movie. They gave us T'Challa's Black Panther. They gave you Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Both of them went over well, which is already going to be hard enough to do in introducing two major characters in a movie where that's already going to have a storyline that people are going to nitpick because you're going to nitpick Civil War because you did not.
I nitpicked.
I don't know if you're going to mention this. It kind of started the Wanda cycle.
Oh yeah, like I was gonna get to that too. Like that introduced other plot lines.
Elaborate.
It introduced the plot line like Wanda. First off, people forgetting after Age of Ultron, Wanda wasn't trusted. Like there's like, oh, well, technically we still don't trust you. We still don't like you. And this introduced Wanda actually being somebody having her own personality.
And she the reason. Tori, you gotta remember she the reason the Civil War kind of started.
Yeah, they use her as a catalyst.
Yeah, but man, I think that's my problem as a comic book reader is that Civil War was so completely left field of the source material.
They didn't own X-Men. They couldn't really.
I know they didn't own X-Men, but there were a lot of Sentry could have been introduced in Civil War.
No,
he played a big part in the comic.
Sentry goes over every other character that was already in the
role that he played in it.
Sentry would be like.
Sentry towers over every other hero in there. There's not even a point in having him.
Sentry on Tori, he win.
That was the point. Like you can't put Sentry in it.
But
so, like,
we know that's not true though. If you've read Civil War, that's not true.
At the point they were in Civil War, nobody would have screwed with Sentry.
The Hulk was gone.
There was nobody there.
Nobody. The Hulk was gone. Thor gone.
At the current group of people that was there, nobody was screwing with Sentry.
Thor.
Period.
Okay. When you put it like that, you're right.
Thor and Hulk.
So like you couldn't put him there. So like they had to do a balancing act to make a movie where people were going to accept the plot line, even though they weren't going to be able to make it perfectly. Introduce two new characters, and then spin that off and introduce ideas for three other major movies. Because Black Panther came from this. The new
I just think it should have had a different name. That's all I'm saying.
This introduced all the ideas for Infinity War. Everything came from that movie. That movie had to be perfect. And it was. Like, that movie had to be perfect to spin off all of the stuff in Phase 4. It had no choice but to be. Because this was literally the beginning of Phase 3. This is the beginning of Phase 3. Every other movie and all that stuff had to come from this movie. It had no choice. It had to be perfect. It literally had to be.
They could have done so much more, though.
Yeah, they had the X-Men, but they didn't buy it. So, oh well. They did not know that Fox was going to be able to sell them the X-Men yet. So, if you go with what you got.
But that's the thing. That's why I'm saying. If they would have named it something else instead of one of the most iconic Marvel storylines of all time, and it shares almost no similarity.
Major kind of storylines that make sense for all the characters to do what they did. This was fine.
I'm calling BS right now. There are more than a few that you could have incorporated all the characters.
Well known.
Okay, Well, see, Monte brings out these
Let me fix
qualifying
it.
points.
That
I'm
are
like,
as
well, you
well
can't really
known.
argue with that.
Because you gotta remember, this is the point of the MCU where you're still trying to get in brand new people that are like new to comic books with storylines they may recognize. So you have this. I want to say this movie had to be perfect because you got to get build up.
But like I said, I think that's just me being a stickler for the comics. That's what that is.
We may know some other comic storyline, but everybody knows why Civil War happened. You know that Civil War is a disagreement basically between Cap and Iron Man and their ideologies. And like you could spin that,
but it was all based off the Mutant Registration Act.
Yeah, I know that. But oh well, you can't do it. But the thing about it that you can do later, you can do another one.
Very true.
They do got a multiverse now you can play with. That
you can do a Civil War too.
Yeah,
you can do a Civil War too. Because there's nothing wrong with doing another Civil War.
Yeah, but like I said, Tori, if you introduce,
nobody cares.
I mean, there's been two already, so I mean. You can do a second Civil War.
Just do the stuff you couldn't do before. You can have the mutants in the Civil War too. You can have the scene where Spider-Man goes and be stupid. Even though this Peter better not pull that BS. But Peter can go and do that BS. But I'm going to reveal my identity to the world. You can pull all that if you want to. So either way, the movie had to be perfect to get everything else afterward right, and they pulled it off. And they didn't even have everything they could use. So to me, they did fine. Yeah. That movie's still gonna be the best movie. Bro, the street scene, not to mention the action, the street scene where freaking Winter Soldier is on a motorcycle getting away. Black Panther is running this man down, and freaking Cap got to run this man afterwards. That scene alone is wonderful. I don't care.
That was a fire scene.
Then you got the 5v5, and then after that you got the 2v1 where freaking Iron Man and Snap are trying to kill Bucky after they realize Bucky killed his parents. That's after the freaking 5v5.
As he should.
That movie is
and the Monte point, Sentry could be introduced now, but then no, he can. No,
I said like at that point nobody could fight Sentry. Nobody could fight Sentry.
Hulk and Thor was in space, so I don't know who was
like nobody on there could fight Sentry. And then the problem with that, Hulk would have to get angry enough to get to Sentry's level, and it's still only a cancel out. And then that would have wiped the city. So now.
He does have the power of a million suns.
Civil War. He wouldn't have ended it. He'd have been the reason they started. And then again, who's gonna stop him? They were like, okay, Sentry, we're gonna need
Iron Man 1v1. Iron Man,
go pick him up. I'll wipe your government. What are you talking about? So they should work. I will wipe your government.
Hey, they do got Blue Marvel.
I will wipe your government, bro. No.
Don't nobody want the Blue Marvel.
Hey, bro.
I say let the Fantastic Four get off the ground first before we talk about Blue Marvel.
Yeah, you're gonna do that, but
but man, we don't need another Fantastic Four. Is fourth time the charm?
Well, this their first time trying, so I'm gonna give them a chance because it's their first time trying. As long as as long as they don't sit in the office and talk for 2 hours,
look,
and then
I'm gonna get Franklin Richards in the universe, doggone. You letting this make it? If I'm gonna get Franklin,
he wants Secret Wars, dog.
Well, you gotta have Sentry for Secret Wars. He played a big part.
I'm pretty sure
we got more alludes to Sentry now than we did in the past.
Now,
now, like we got Celestials and people that can dang their wipe a planet.
As long as all roads lead to Null, I'll be happy.
Sentry can pop up now. Like I got no problem with Sentry popping up now because the power levels have gotten way stronger. So Sentry can come now. And I'm cool with it.
And they saying Scarlet Witch is going crazy, so I don't know anything about the spoiler, but some of y'all know because it's come out Friday, and I will know when this comes out. But
you know I'm gonna know.
Tori, you gonna?
Yeah, I will. I will be. No, I ain't paying. But we all know that I'm gonna watch it.
So yeah, now let's get to this. Let's get to the top 5. What all did we have on here on all our lists? I know we had Black
Panther, No Way Home.
Black Panther, No Way Home, and you didn't have Civil War on yours, but Ben Monte had Civil War really high.
Yeah, you both had Civil War
really high because I had it 2, Monte had it 1.
Yeah.
Monte didn't have Endgame, but me and Tori had Endgame really high. I had it 3. What you have it 1, 3 and 1.
Yeah, I was gonna say I had Endgame at 1.
So I guess them the ones we know: Black Panther, No Way Home, Endgame, Civil War. They automatically on there. And everything else a little different. So we got to figure out who will be the 5th.
Yeah, I was gonna say the other.
So like, I guess number 5 would just be different. The number 5 would just be something, but you can just figure out the top 4 and what order you're gonna have them in. So what's the average everybody had No Way Home?
I had it at I had 4. I think I had it 4.
I had it at 5.
So No Way Home, I don't think that can be number 1. That'll probably be okay. So that's that. What about Civil War?
I had it. Tori didn't have it all. I had it at number 2.
I didn't have
you
it,
had
but
it 1.
you both had it up there.
Shoot. And then what is Black Panther can't be number 1. Black Panther cannot be the number 1.
No,
it was. It's the only one we all share, but Black Panther cannot be the number 1 movie. Black Panther has to be like.
Well, we had No Way Home too. We all shared No Way Home. So
yeah, we all had No Way Home.
No Way Home is number 1. I mean,
but I think Black Panther should definitely be top 3.
Yeah, because it's one of the ones we had all 3 had on it.
It could be 3. Black Panther can't be like, to me. It can't. It's not going to beat Civil War.
I think 3 middle of the pack is good.
Black Panther not beating Civil War, No Way Home. That can't be.
No, not at all.
Hold up.
So at best, it's gonna be.
Let's try to get which one would be 5? Because I know me and Monte like Thor Ragnarok. Tori hates it, so that's gonna be hard. So any other movies y'all had that somebody else had that y'all really like? Because I know me and Monte had Thor Ragnarok.
Y'all niggas didn't care for Blade? Wesley Snipes?
Blade is not beating these movies, man. Let it go.
I love Blade. I do love Blade, but
damn, Blade is not beating these movies.
It was so close to the source material, though. Look at all these other movies and how far off they were from the source material.
Sometimes being on the close to source material don't work. In the comic book,
you're supposed to be the continuity guy.
I do. I like it when it makes sense. I'm alright.
Blade made perfect sense.
Blade did though, but I like Blade. But
Blade ain't bro. Blade
but no, I respect the fact that I literally had it at like number 5, so it wouldn't make no sense putting it on the list. It honestly wouldn't.
I know me and him like Thor Ragnarok. Me and Monte. Anybody?
I was about to say, if you guys are gonna, Thor Ragnarok is the only redeeming Thor movie in my eyes. So if there has to be a Thor movie on the list,
good one. Like Thor 1
is.
Yeah, and Thor 2.
Maybe Love and Thunder will change that.
I would accept Thor Ragnarok being 5 if he's willing to acquiesce.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Because I know I'm gonna have to bend for Endgame probably or Infinity War. I know I have.
Yeah, I was gonna say Monte didn't have, but me and Zelme both had.
I know I have to bend for that though. I refuse.
Time out. Endgame could be up there. Right? Hold up. So we had 2 Endgame. We had Endgame, No Way Home. 2 for.
You want to put Endgame and Infinity War then?
Well. Zelme's the only one that had Infinity War.
Yeah, that's the thing. So it'd be either Infinity War or Thor, I guess.
Honestly, I'd go with Thor over Infinity War.
All right, Thor Ragnarok.
And see, that's the shocking thing. I probably like Infinity War more than Endgame.
We know, Monte, but
I mean, Endgame is literally just the last 45 minutes.
Yeah, but it was the culmination of the journey.
I know that. It's still the last 45 minutes.
Bruh, all right, you say that now, but you're going to hit your kids. When you have kids, you're going to hit them with the I love you 3,000 at some point. And then you go realize.
And where is that from? The last 45 minutes is where that hits. Is the last 45.
Well, no, that was in the earlier part of the movie.
That's where it hits. It hits you in the last 45 minutes.
So we put Black Panther 3. So we got what we got: No Way Home, Endgame, and Infinity War. Oh, Civil War.
Or was it Ragnarok? Because you both had Ragnarok.
Oh well, we took who we take out? Oh, nobody had. Infinity War. I was the only person that had Infinity War, right?
And then I think I was the only person that had Doctor Strange, so that's not
okay. So Infinity War, we took that out for Thor Ragnarok because we just said that. Okay, so 4 would be you got No Way Home, you got Endgame, and
are we gonna put No Way Home at 1?
Civil War.
I'll take No Way Home and Civil War at 1.
No Way Home, I guess. No Way Home 1.
We all had No Way Home on there
over the course of half a year.
Yes, so we got No Way Home 1, Black Panther 3, Thor Ragnarok 5. Now we got 2 more spots left, and that's for
we got 2 and 4.
Endgame,
Civil War,
and Civil War.
Civil War gonna be 2, bro. I'm going Civil War. I'm gonna fight for it.
What?
I don't care.
We did have it 1 and 2 though. We did kind of have it 1 and 2.
I was gonna say, okay, law of averages. I can't even argue as high as you both had that.
Yeah.
Non-canonically based movie.
The other Infinity War at 4.
No, in fact, we took that out for Ragnarok, remember?
Well, in-game at 4?
Yeah, in game at 4.
I think that would be
Okay. I can deal with that.
So the list is 1 No Way Home, 2 Civil War, 3 Black Panther, 4 Endgame, and 5 Thor Ragnarok.
I can deal with that.
Yeah, so
yep, that I can agree. That is a pertinent list.
yeah.
I can deal with it. No Way Home.
With Blade as an
I got
honorable
people
mention
up there trying to
down
fight.
the card. Shout out Wesley
No.
Snipes.
When I got No Way Home, people fighting for half a year to fight away these spoilers. Half a year. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I can't even say nothing because, like I said, it's been documented. I thought that No Way Home would flop, and then I was like, "This movie's amazing."
Okay,
that's the crazy thing. When it gets leaked out that you're gonna have 3 Spider-Man in your movie, and the movie is amazing regardless of that, that's crazy.
Okay, we're gonna do one last thing. The
only thing that would have been better if we would truly got the meaning moment.
We got one more thing we gotta do. Since we got our top 5, and tonight is the night that people might go see the movie. Final predictions on Multiverse of Madness.
X-Men got to come in. Give me we got to get the mutant introduction. That's my big thing.
They gave you the leader basically. Then in the preview,
I already saw the freaking golden.
Yeah, I know, but I need an actual concrete introduction.
Bruh, we saw the golden wheelchair that Professor Xavier sitting in. Bro. I saw the golden wheelchair from.
Bruh, I'm saying there's been plenty of times that we've seen trailers that end up being cut content.
That golden wheelchair can't be fake.
Tori, I don't think they're gonna do that. They put in like
they can't fake that golden wheelchair, bro.
5 previews.
They can't fake that.
But I'm saying you could get Dr. X and not get a whole mutant introduction. I'm saying I want to see more than Professor X.
I don't know if they're gonna show you all that, but we'll see.
It depends on how they do the movie. My final prediction, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm saying Wanda going evil. I'm just gonna go ahead and speak. I'm saying Wanda going evil.
I think that's a pretty good.
I'm gonna go ahead and say I think I've been building. I done seen Dana every trailer they put out, bro. All these 15 minutes, 30 minutes. I'm thinking she going evil, bro. It's too much in the movie dealing with her past for some reason, and it started in WandaVision. WandaVision already started her going down a path that's not necessarily morally good.
If we get the mutant introduction, this could be the perfect way to tie Magneto back in with the Scarlet Witch.
I'm just thinking they're gonna pull Chthon out, bro. I've been on this Chthon train for the longest. I'm thinking they pull out Chthon.
Yeah, really but see, you want to bring in Chthon, but yet y'all look at me crazy when I say we need Null.
No, the reason I say Chthon has a direct link from what we have now. There is no Null link other than the loose symbiote that we have at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home.
And that's all you need.
And that ain't Null. That's a black symbiote. There's a far reach. You got a long way to go.
Null's God-given enemies.
You got a long way to go from there to Null. Chthon is a direct link from Scarlet Witch. It's literally where her powers come from.
But that's the thing. He wasn't in the source material.
He is now. The source material is like after they retconned it 3-4 times, her powers come from him.
Yeah, but that's crazy because we know that's not true.
It is. They retconned them. Don't blame me because they retconned the comics.
Well, toward the universe you thinking it's not true, but the universe they in now is true.
That's what I'm saying. You can't blame me. They retconned
I need a number on this universe. That's what I want.
Multiverse of Madness directly from Chthon.
Are we in the Ultimates universe? But if we're gonna bring in the mutants, there's no reason Wanda shouldn't be a mutant like in the source material.
It's not my fault they retconned the comics and made her not a technical mutant.
Well, but that's the thing. They've done switch. I'm pretty sure she's a mutant in canon comic books now.
Canon comic books, her powers come from Chthon.
Yeah. By the way, Chthon is like big anyway because he's like.
When did that happen?
Oh, it's been happening. Want to go mountain? The evolutionary came and kidnapped her,
she was born on the mountain. That man was sealed in, and all that crap. Her powers literally come from.
Well, high evolutionary went to the mountain and came and took her to the mountain, and then Chthon she has mutant witch powers, so it fits my powers. So I gave her my powers so I can come around.
I would say like that.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I guess we did. We got the chaos magic.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like they had that link. They made Agatha narc to it when they was like, "Oh, you have chaos powers." They just specifically did not say no. He's like, "You got chaos powers,"
which is
like you don't know what you've done by activating. No, they keep on giving these freaking nods. I'm just like, go ahead and just give us Chthon. Like, just go ahead and just do it. Then. You keep giving us the nods to her powers being chaos.
Chthon. If they said it's a horror movie, Chthon would be perfect. That'd be scary.
Just go ahead and make Chthon. Not to mention they already announced we got Agatha Harkness having her own show. Like, and her show literally only has a couple of purposes.
Agatha Harkness, she was a good add-in. I'm not going to argue that remotely. She was a good add-in as far as bringing in a canonical character that didn't have that big of a role, but putting her in a role that made sense.
Well, technically, in the comic book, she had one of the biggest roles ever. She kind of raised Franklin Richards.
Matter of fact,
I mean, she did, and good old Frank coming through and wrecking everybody. He's a mutant, though. That's the thing.
You know what would be cool though? If they like make sure if they introduce the Fantastic Four kind of like they did Spider-Man a little later, and then have Franklin Richards be born instead of going through the whole beginning storyline.
Well, that's one of the main thing I was thinking as far as, because if you're gonna bring in the mutants and you're gonna do Fantastic Four, it's sort of the perfect time for you to give birth to the most powerful mutant of all time.
And I got a reason why they can do that. Ant-Man,
he was making universes at 6.
Ant-Man already created the quantum realm. They can say we were lost in the quantum realm for a few years.
It did.
They can.
So that's my prediction for Wanda. My only prediction for Strange, because they done made it to where these trailers stuff, you don't have any idea where he's gonna go. I'm gonna say the Illuminati is literally gonna blame Strange for Wanda. I was going to
see. I was thinking they'd bring him in because he is a canonical member of the Illuminati.
They're going to blame him. They're gonna be like, not only did the stuff on Spider-Man happen on your watch, you also let Wanda activate powers that could literally break the fabric of the universe.
So you're see, I was thinking the complete opposite. I figured for those reasons that along the same lines, that would be the reason why he would be brought into the Illuminati.
See, the problem with
that's another prediction I have. I think we're going to get a lot of Illuminati exposition. I think there will be more than we've been led to see.
He wouldn't be arrested.
Yeah, he got arrested, and they said.
Bro, I'm thinking they blaming him because, like, bro, you done almost screwed up the universe like 3 times.
See, I thought that they'd be the ones to get him out of the getting arrested.
No, all I know is old boy said you will be judged, and then he swung a sword at him. So I'm like, I don't think that's a.
I'm like, bro, Baron Mordo is telling you the Illuminati gonna see you. I'm like, oh, Baron Mordo already there, bro. You're not there for a good reason. Like Baron Mordo, the murderer of mages. You ain't there for a good reason. If he already got the head start on them against you, nah, bro.
And then Professor X did say we're gonna see what kind of Doctor Strange you are.
That's what I said. I think they blaming him. I think, bro, like you done screwed up, and like we're gonna either have you fix this. It is
kind of his fault.
Or we're gonna get rid of you.
By the way, did y'all see what Kevin Feige kind of explained it? That they explained in Loki because people get the misconception. He who remains kept that universe away from the other universe.
Oh, okay. See, no, I did not see that. But that makes,
I had to watch it again. He actually explained. He's like, "This is the sacred timeline that I made to stay away from the other ones, and if some seep in, we cut it off. That's why we blow it up. It ain't that we the only one in the multiverse. It's that
it's just they started other timelines from spreading out.
Yeah, so basically what they do is blow up other timelines that might cross with this one, and then when they got rid of him, it kind of. Okay, now we all going each way. And then Kevin Feige explained.
But aren't we?
Kevin Feige said that because he gone, there's no one keeping the universes together. So now Doctor Strange can do a spell that can rip it apart and enter everybody else's. So now he's available. That's the way.
Also, yeah.
Because if we're gonna keep it a stack, the Living Tribunal should have came into play during No Way Home. Like the minute they started playing with.
Well, some people think they saw like a bit. Some people think there's one scene in the movie where they actually see the Living Tribunal, but they only see one head, so it's not really confirmed.
But if we're gonna, like I said, I'm a stickler for.
Well, if they say that and he showed his face, he was like, "Oh, you messing up," and then he fixed it. Like, "Oh, okay, you fixed."
Also, my other prediction, I'm claiming Kang popping up.
Oh,
I'm claiming I see Kang somewhere in this movie.
That could honestly be fire.
Kang, the Kang got to pop up somewhere in this movie, bro. Like to me, there's too much.
That's a lead into the High Evolutionary, though.
I think I'm out. That's my last prediction. One Strange Strange is getting tried because they believe he doesn't basically, this shit is his fault. If all this shit happened and you the source of the spread, they believe this shit is your fault. So we're blaming you. Wanda goes evil, and I see Kang. Them my 3 predictions.
Yeah, by the way, we all knew it. The black man kept the universe together. We know it.
I'm not even gonna get into
Got killed by a white woman, and now it's the world ending.
When you put it like that.
Tori, where can they find you?
You already know, AfroCommy765 on everything. Instagram, Twitter, all that jazz.
Monte, where can they find you?
Your boy Monterey Hudson on Instagram and TikTok, under the name Monterey Hudson. You see it in the link tree. Click on it, come see your boy. I talk about some of everything. Buy the merch. And then also shout out to them Celtics. They did win on Tuesday night.
Shout out to Jaylen Brown. He hooped tonight. And
he had that early 25, that he cruised the rest of the way, Tatum to the home. You know how it goes.
And by the way, you know where to find me. Link in the description. Tell us your thoughts. Tell us your top 5. Tell us your... Well, some of y'all seen it, so do not spoil. So I don't want to say what the video. This is coming out Friday.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
But tell us your top 5 MCU movies. Even if it's Doctor Strange 2, Multiverse of Madness, that'll be a good sign if it's actually in your top 5. That means it was great.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see it. Well, by the time we do this, I would have seen it. But peace. Love y'all. Keep stomping. Something amazing will happen.